Through. I'm Lori McNichol for the Fan Highway Patrol.
Imus in the morning at 2020 Sports. Here comes my favorite sportscaster, because I can set my drink on his head. Warner Wolf.
Good morning, Warner.
Good morning, man. In one of the worst money moves in sports history, heavyweight champion Hasim Rahman, who turned down $17 million from HBO to sign a rematch with Lennox Lewis, but instead signed with Don King for $5 million in a fight with David Izon, now must fight Lewis, as ordered by a Manhattan judge to either honor the return match clause or not fight for a year and a half. So now, instead of getting $17 million from HBO, he will get $3 million for training expenses and a lot less than the $17 million.
Now he wants to fight the judge.
And here's a reason for Oscar De La Hoya to beat Javier Castellano tomorrow night. De La Hoya says if he doesn't beat the 33-year-old Castellano, who hasn't fought since October, he will quit the ring and concentrate on his singing career. Please win the fight. Hold on. Construction workers near the planned Olympic rowing site in Athens, Greece, have uncovered an ancient grave. Pottery was found in a grave dating back to 490 B.C., the time of the Battle of Marathon. Archaeologists have opposed the rowing center. The suburban Chevy Suburban of 7'2", 76ers Dikembe Mutombo, stolen Tuesday night in Philadelphia from the parking lot of a TGI Fridays restaurant, has been recovered in South Philadelphia. The SUV had been vandalized. Police, however, did find a note. It said, "You couldn't guard me. Now you couldn't even guard your own car."
You know, you're suspended.
Okay.
You're suspended for 2 weeks, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Okay. All right, baseball. Here we go.
All righty.
Arizona last night beat Mike Hampton and the Rockies 14-5. Here was the loser, Hampton, bombed out after only 3 innings, 8 runs, 8 hits, and walked 5.
Nothing was right, regardless of when I'm out there. I don't know if it's closing the series or what. I mean, we were bad.
We were bad. You were bad. Come on. And man, here's what the now defunct XFL needed. Here's what they were missing.
What?
In Dublin, Ireland, Gaelic hurling player Graham Elliott faces assault charges and a lifetime ban after hitting a referee with a stick and shattering the referee's arm. In last week's hurling match between 2 Dublin teams, the referee penalized Graham for rough play, and then Graham cursed at the referee. Graham then hit the referee 5 times with his hockey-style wooden stick.
Yeah.
The referee has a metal plate in his elbow. That's what we expected from the XFL. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what you always said,
That would be fine. Let's not belabor this. I think.
Okay.
Warner Wolf here on the Imus in the morning for your time. Thank you out of the studio.
Thank you for yours.
All right, here now with comment and observation on headline issues of the day. Imus, Washington's senior political analyst, the late Richard M. Nixon.
And a more savvy analyst you'd be very hard-pressed to find, Imus, in the morning. So, the Imus show on Countdown to Vacation, I understand. You know, you can tell when a holiday is imminent because your staff always looks as though they're in that last second of inevitability right before achieving orgasm. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Wheels up. Touchdown! Not that any of us wants to get away from the I-Man. No. Right. And Donna Hanover doesn't want to put any distance between herself and Comb-Over Boy. That's all certainly nice and tidy now, isn't it? The Giuliani divorce. The only medium they haven't used yet to call each other oil-dripping scuzzballs is a skywriter, for crying out loud. Jeez. Did you see the mayor's kid playing a round of golf with Tiger Woods? Tiger looked elated, didn't he? Like, I may be a conceited blowhard, but what in God's name did I ever do to deserve this? You could just see him thinking, the mayor's kid is 15. That's when Michael Skakel got away with it. Maybe. No, I'd lose too much endorsement money. I know. A little cynical, Dono, perhaps. Anyway, so what's going on around here? Actually, not a hell of a lot. Once you get past the Reverend Al Sharpton, suffering a little splashback, if you will, of Martin Luther King's vital fluids, Al's apologizing to Jesse Jackson for implying Jesse grandstanded the King assassination. Gosh, that would be so unlike him, too. Jesse Jackson has never played to the cameras, has he? The only bodily fluid we're sure about regarding Reverend Jesse is, well, fertilization factor. Anyway, Reverend Al's had to break his jailhouse hunger strike to eat a little crow. Okay, what else? Studio shakeup at the Mouse House, I do. Like, that's novel. The axe drops this time on the squat, gnarled neck of Peter Schneider, the Disney studio chief who thought rerunning Pearl Harbor would be a good idea. Dumped $205 million into this turkey. Well, bombs away. He's gone after 1 year, J.D. Sayonara. Schneider even sold that moron Michael Eisner on it. Eisner had said, and I'm paraphrasing him, that he expected Pearl Harbor to be the company's biggest ever non-animated film, beating The Sixth Sense, which had done $662 million worldwide. Well, boy, was it non-animated. Did you see that thing? I see dead studio presidents. What else here? Louis Free is getting out before he gets taken out. I mean, remember when the F in FBI stood for federal instead of up? Now, I mean, just this week, Dono, we got a retired FBI agent buying secret documents from an FBI employee and selling them to the freaking mob. Why doesn't Louis make it easier on everybody? And before he actually leaves office, just put everything he can get his hands on eBay and be done with it. You know how many separate investigations of the FBI are going on right now? Well, of course you don't, because they add one every damn day. Let's see. Attorney General Ashcroft has a review. Chuck Schumer is whining about appointing a blue ribbon commission. He just better hope they never turn up the lights on him too much. Anyway, two of his Senate colleagues are calling for an FBI ethics watchdog. The Justice Department's Inspector General has an investigation. The separate blue ribbon panel under Judge William Webster has its investigation. And the Senate Judiciary Committee's open hearings. Jesus. No wonder they can't find Chandra Levy. There's nobody left to look. Ouch! Scattershot in a very unfocused Dick Scope today, I do. As fired, of course, by Dick Nixon, a former president of the United States, who is on, it strikes me, a rather permanent vacation.
Coming up on 5 minutes, silly hour here in the Irish Morning Program. Well, Charles, how do you decide when you go on vacation whether you're going to go to your big deal down there in Florida or your big vacation deal on the Bull Shoals Lake there in northwest Arkansas?
I don't know. Just, there's no, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that. Usually we go down to the Florida thing first and then the Arkansas thing during the latter vacation.
I see.
That's all. There's no huge decision. No great thought process, dude.
Well, what do you do there in Florida? Just walk around and
hang, read, lie on the beach?
Get skin cancer?
Well,
let me see if I got your phone number right now.
Wait a minute.
941, right?
No, that's not right. That's not right.
Wait, that's the area code?
No, that's not the area code.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Are you listed there?
No.
Okay. Well, good, because that would be idiotic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
And then when are you coming out to the ranch?
Week after we get back.
So you'll be out here July, well, that'd be 16th.
16th.
I'll see you then.
Beautiful.
All right, kid.
Imus in the morning.
Ah, summer. Time.
Yeah, I can barely hear you. I'm going to look for the monitor. Here's the monitor.
We get your headset.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Okay, hold on.
Better grab him headset. Oh, you got it.
Real hard to pick up New Mexico with your actual ears. Okay, hello there.
Now can you hear us?
How are you?
Mr. Carlin.
It's not plugged in. You have to do the other end. Does the other end mean something?
Didn't you start in radio?
Oh, it's one of those both end things.
Jesus, God.
That's your volume control,
There's my... I got everything of my own over here. How are you out there?
I'm fine, George. How are you?
Good. I sent you a nice card when you were sick.
I saved the card, and I...
Good.
Of course, we can't read the card in the air, but...
Well, I was just trying to get you to laugh so your lungs would hurt a little.
Well, that's what you did.
Good.
So, now, is this G4 you have, is that the 500 megahertz or the 400?
500.
It is?
This is the G4, not the improved G3. This is the titanium one. It looks like a deck of cards. Like, remember how cool it was when you had a Ronson lighter when you were 16?
Yeah.
This is like a nice Ronson lighter.
I have two of them.
Two Ronsons?
No, I have two G4s.
Two G4s.
Oh, I thought you were smoking again. God. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? I mean, it's just not lovely, and it's real easy to carry, and I'm a real geek now.
The first one I got was a 400, and I was not happy.
No.
Then
you need to be able to do calculations.
So then I got the 500. Now I'm much happier. So.
Yeah, because now it's a millisecond, less, a micro, a nano, giga, whatever they got.
It's 25 after the hour here in the Imus Morning program. George Carlin in early this morning. Were you on Letterman last night?
I was on Letterman. It was a very strong shot. A lot of strong jokes. You know how I like those big jokes?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. So we were talking about the thing you and I are going to cover a little bit, laugh.com.
Okay.
Just generally stuff, people dying, stuff like that.
I'll always remember, it was always our philosophy. We just couldn't articulate it as you did.
Sure.
But that is when these, and you put it into, you framed it in prose for us so that we could then articulate your thoughts.
That's right.
Maybe making us all like our friend Mike Barnacle, but at any rate.
Guess what I did? I named the show. I'm going to do HBO again in November. It's my 12th show.
Wow. Right.
And you know what the title of it is?
No.
I kind of like it when a lot of people die. Isn't that great?
That is that.
It sums me up.
Oh, my God. Well, you were the one who got us to thinking that whenever there's an earthquake, I find myself, and people do. You were just the one who made the observation.
I know. I was very disappointed in the Seattle thing. Could have been great. Could have been big. Here's a big city. It's right there, epicenter, and it's 30 miles down. My luck, One guy, and I think it was from he got excited or something.
Yeah. But you hear 3,000 people are lost in an earthquake, and then the count starts to go up.
Yeah.
And every time you turn on,
And it comes down again, though.
Yeah.
And then they always find guys who are alive, which bothers me. There was some guy, a week later, he was living off his own whatever. And it's just really, you know what gets me excited? A number gets me excited in an earthquake, 65,000. That's my threshold. Then I start feeling good. What we really need is never mind these 7s and these 8s. We need a 24, a nice 24.
On the Richter scale?
Richter scale 24, and preferably about a yard below the surface, and right in the middle of 42nd Street. Even though I love New York, I'm a New Yorker, but I'm looking for some rubble.
It's 27 after the hour. More George Carlin coming up.
Tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Imus in the morning.
Digital or film, Nikon makes it easier than ever to capture all your fun and memories with great cameras like these. For digital, there's the Nikon Coolpix 880. That'd be the fast, easy-to-use 3.34 megapixel compact with 11 automatic scene modes for perfect photos. You can easily download to your family and friends. Or for the flexibility and control of film photography, there's the Nikon N80 35mm autofocus SLR. It's built with the same quality and technology you'll find in Nikon's Pro SLRs, including legendary Nikkor optics. And I've told you that Nikkor lenses, the glass and lenses, it makes a difference. World-class stuff. Nikon Coolpix 880 and N80 SLR. Digital or film, indoors or out, incredible photos have never been easier. See them both at your local authorized Nikon dealer. Nikon. Y'all start taking great pictures.
Imus.
You tell your wife you'll clean the garage.
Grasso, comedy routines and stuff on the planet. You, Jonathan Winters, Richard Pryor, and Chris Rock.
We have 85 different comedians, each with their own page as of now. It'll grow. But you know what? Besides the page itself, with a lot of free audio and free video and stuff about comedians, and it's all about comedians and comedy. Besides that, it's also its own record company. Laugh.com is a label.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, and there are over 40 CDs we have already, and these are only available at this web page. Jonathan Winters made his first CD in 30 years for us. Wow. The Jerky Boys have done their new one. They sold 3.5 million in the past. They have their newest one, and I love it. It's on the site. And
those are the guys make the goofy phone calls, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that stuff is funny.
And boy, is this a good one. This. I think this is their 5th or something. They've sold a lot of ones. And we have a lot of the people of the older cohort, the Jonathan Winters, the Phyllis Diller, and Jose Jimenez both made brand new albums for us.
Hudson and Landry.
But we have some young Hudson and Landry. Their names are on there too. Yes, I haven't looked at their page. Jeff Altman made an album for us. Bob Zaney, Flip Schultz. There are a lot. We're attracting a lot of the younger comedians now. The trouble is they don't have a lot of stuff available and out there. We made deals with the record companies to do people like Jonathan Winters and Shelley Berman because the record companies own all their rights. In my case, I own all my own stuff. So
you do?
Yeah, I own all my HBO shows and all my albums. It's my bus. I drive it. So
somebody was thinking in your camp there, George.
absolutely. I don't know what happened there. The drugs wore off one morning. But I'm just real happy about everything. And this laugh.com is a nice. I have my own site too, georgecarlin.com. But this laugh.com is now that all the internet companies, the .coms have crashed, we figure it's time to get in there. Now that it looks horrifying.
Do you have money invested in this show?
No, I have a small taste of the company based on the fact that I had a lot to offer them. I have high visibility, and I have my rights to my stuff, so I can say to them, yeah, go ahead, put that on there. I don't care, put that on there. Other people, it's just an agreement with the record companies. You have a longer process to get permission. But the label, you know how hard it is to find comedy records in a record store? You have to go way to the back. They're always past the foreign children's sound effects records, right next to Hitler's speeches. Hitler's speeches and the comedy stuff and the white noise is harder to find. I mean, easier to find. So we are trying to overcome that to some extent and be a source for CDs on the net and a good place to go for the laugh of the day, the laugh of the month,
Congratulations, incidentally, on your Grammy. Third one.
Yeah, the book that you helped make a hit, Brain Droppings, I read it on tape. They do that, and I read my own book, and it won the Grammy last month. I was kind of pleased and a little bit surprised.
And that was in the spoken word comedy category, so you would think the Grammy would go to somebody who made an album, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but this is considered an album because it's a CD.
I understand.
And in fact, Jeff Foxworthy's was on that list of nominees, and his was also reading from his book.
But he didn't win, did he?
No.
We're happy he didn't win, aren't we?
Well, that's good. Yes, extremely happy.
F him. He
Whatever
didn't win.
Whatever you say, I'm here for you.
Chris Rock, he didn't make an album. We don't care. F him. He didn't.
You know what? The last couple of years, the only time I win is when Chris Rock isn't up because the industry gets very sentimental about new people, And he caught them, and he's great, and he deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I think white people should get a break.
Laugh.com on the internet, and George doing a new HBO special. When's that going to be on?
That comes on in November. That'll be live again from the Beacon Theater at number 12 in a series. The book, I got to tell you this. I'll be back to really bother you a lot in early May, late April, because the second book comes out. Napalm and Silly Putty. This is an extension of the Brain Droppings idea. It's the same kind of stuff, but I think a little better, a little funnier. It's a little bit longer, and some fine stuff in there. But that'll be the second one. The first one sold 750,000 so far.
Jesus, that's a lot of books.
Yeah, 40 weeks on that New York Times list. So I'm looking to hit 1 million this time. Well, you and I'll get in there and we'll hit it hard, okay, babe? Okay, babe.
Whenever somebody from Hollywood says, okay, babe, and I'm glad I'm out here in New Mexico at the ranch.
Self-mockery here, self-mockery. Listen, I want you to know I'm here for you, too, because let me tell you something. If there's ever a Don Imus Legal Defense Organization, Dildo, I'm there for you. I'll be helping.
George Carlin here on the Imus in the Morning program. George launching Laugh.com. Well, you can punch it up now, right?
You can, if you're all hooked up and all those nice modern things.
Yeah. So, they have a new deal. Well, you probably know about this. Do you have a cable hookup?
I have cable modem. I leave it on at home all the time.
Unbelievable, isn't it? 100
times. You just go and you hit refresh, and there's your emails. 50 people bothering you.
I don't know. MSNBC is rolling the copy from Laugh.com.
Uh-huh.
And Chris, you may want to tell them they may want to read the copy before they put it on TV because it's...
It's filthy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's filthy. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me. I like the idea.
Of course.
But I like the fact that we actually got it on. But,
me too.
Just an ugly situation.
Well, you got to go, when you have a little time today, you got to go to my site, georgecarlin.com, and see the test you have to pass to get into the site. I got a language test for people. So I think it might interest you.
GeorgeCarlin.com. We'll just go there right now.
Charles can go to it right now.
Charles may have a little difficulty with the last entry. The last entry is religion, but nothing personal, Charles. Hey, live and let live. That's what I say. Anyone doesn't agree with that ought to be killed.
We have Warner Wolf who does sports, George, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on our program.
Yes.
And then on Tuesday and Thursday, we have to get somebody else to do sports.
I know who it is today.
It's my wife today.
That's right.
She went to Villanova on a track scholarship. We figure that qualifies her to do sports.
Of course.
So she'll be in next, and then...
Yeah, I'll be here. If you need me more, I'll be here. If not, I'm go home.
No, we want you. We want you to stay because you maybe can help her.
Okay, and I wanted to mention after that what an imbecile Bush is.
Well, then we'll get to all of that.
Okay.
So, no, I don't want you to go anywhere.
No, I'll be here.
Stay right where you are.
All right.
Deirdre Imus is sports in a second, in a couple of minutes, and then we'll talk more with George Carlin.
Hey.
There's spoons and there's saucers and dirt on the floor.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Rochester.
Oh, good morning, boys. Did you have a nice night?
Oh, pretty good, Rochester, but as you know, I had a difficult time falling asleep. I counted 3,000 sheep.
3,020 to be exact.
Was there that many?
Yeah, and boss, tonight when you go to bed, why don't you take a little pill?
No, Rochester, I prefer to count sheep.
I know, but I feel so silly putting on that white coat and jumping back and forth over your bedpost.
Imus in the morning.
What would you do? What will you do with a tax credit of up to $600 you're getting from Uncle Sam this summer?
If we pull out of Vietnam, there'll be more killing than ever because the South Vietnamese won't be able to defend themselves. Remember, running away from a problem doesn't solve anything.
Imus in the morning.
Do you ever have...
Jeff Patton Jr.
On your feet. All right, maggots. On my command, we'll begin PT.
Oh, Jesus, sir, what the hell is this?
We'll start our session with jumping jacks. Ready? Exercise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What are we, men?
Trained killer, sir.
1, 2, 1, 2. I said, what are we, men?
We're f***ing exhausted, sir.
1, 2, 1, 2. What's that, Private?
Trained killer, sir.
1, 2, 1, 2. Sound off like you had a pair, Private.
We're trained killers, sir, who are about to have a f***ing cardiac episode if you don't knock this off.
Just my point this morning, pusillanimous germs. All right, cease exercise, as you were. I am trying to introduce you rotten filth to a fitness program that will keep you fine killing units from winding up like our deputy commander-in-chief.
You mean Dick Big Time Cheney, sir?
No, I mean Dick, the big one, Cheney. Direct your attention to the easel to my left. Can anybody identify this diagram? Yes, you in the back. What are we showing here, soldier?
Sir, though the image is complex, the private identifies what appears to be a wad of plastic tubing beneath a rat's nest under a plate of rigatoni overlaid by a Jackson Pollock painting, sir.
A common mistake. In fact, this is Dick Cheney's heart, boys. CAT scan image, revealing more bypasses, off-ramps, and underpasses than an Orenthal James Simpson murder scene escape route.
Yeah, that's a mess, sir.
And exactly what you scum would have residing in your chests if you conducted yourselves, as has Vice President Cheney.
You mean having the private room at Denny's, the Burger King Platinum card, the lifetime membership to the Cheese of the Month Club, the all-access pass to Steaks R Us, and a personal cow?
You mean the dairy animal, Private?
I mean his wife, sir. Lynn Got Milk Cheney. How's the vice president ever going to lose any weight if he's living with an uninspiring lard can who's apparently taken out a leash on Hillary Clinton's ass? No disrespect intended, sir. How's that supposed to be motivating?
It isn't, Private. Maybe that's why the bastard eats anything that'll hold still. He's self-medicating because he's married to a loudmouth who looks like somebody threw a dress on a cage ball. We can only speculate. But the bottom line is that there's a flat line in Dick Cheney's immediate future if he doesn't, 1, get off his fat ass, and 2, stop sucking up the entire International Beef Board. I can't be 100% on this, boys, but apparently the reason people are starving in Africa is because Dick Cheney exists.
Sir, if the private may, Mr. Cheney's condition is not entirely his own fault.
How so, Private?
Medical screw-up.
And that would be?
They bypassed his heart.
What should they have bypassed?
His f***ing stomach.
Excellent point, Private. I will conclude with the body of a dispatch I am forwarding to the Vice President. Dear Fatso, if you want to avoid receiving final absolution, ask your idiot doctors for the Carney-Wilson solution.
Put down the fork, you dork.
Thank you for your input, Private. That is all.
Can we get some chicks in here for some squat thrusts, sir?
Brought his wife and kids from Wyoming, Jack. And in 25 years, he's had 4 heart attacks. His CAT scan image is particularly nasty. Looks like he needs another angioplasty. Oh, Dick Cheney's got a funky heart. $2 banana sandwich and a tall glass of buttermilk. Uh-oh. Claire? Claire? Oh, there we go. Everybody's gotta deal with stress. Everybody gotta exercise. But hey, shoot down your arms and SOS. Clogged arteries need to be catheterized. Oh, that Cheney's got a funky heart. Oh, that Cheney's got a funky heart. Won't be too funny if it blows apart. Oh, that Cheney's got a funky heart.
A Yale degree is worth a lot, as I often remind Dick Cheney, who studied here but left a little early. So now we know. If you graduate from Yale, you become president. If you drop out, you get to be vice president.
Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Imus in the morning.
February 2002. Weather reports every 20 minutes. Rich Ackerman, WFAN 2020 Sports.
Want to talk sports? Call us at 718-937-6666 or go to Fan Instant Access on the web at WFAN.com to get us an instant message. It's brand new and powered by Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
On TNN at 4 p.m., in-state rivals battle as the Tampa Bay Storm host the Orlando Predators. For all the latest Arena Football League news, log on to arenafootball.com.
Hi, Princessa, and the Mad Dog, Chris Russo on the Fan, WFAN.
148, nice to have with us today. Here's Danny in New York City. Dan, what's going on?
Hi, I want to talk about the Nick details.
Over 20 stores in New Jersey and Connecticut.
We're on the Fan. Nice to have you aboard today. Will in a car phone. Will, what's...
Nice, and that's what's happening. I'm Don LaGreca with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station of New York Mets baseball.
Mike and the Mad Dog, Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
All right, back on the Fan. Hour number 6. Good to have you with us. 718-937-6666. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number. Baseball today, the Mets, of course, with Rush and Glavine. You gave all the day games today, and the Phillies and the Marlins in a doubleheader. 4-3 Phillies early against Florida. And, boy, the Phillies need to win some games here in a hurry if they want to disappear in the NL East.
I'm Joe Tollison.
Texas carried out another execution last night.
God, stop it. You're making me hot.
John Albert Burks, convicted in the 1989 murder of a Waco store owner. Burks' last words were, "The Raiders are going all the way."
No, it wasn't.
Absolutely. Say goodbye to this planet Earth. The Raiders are going all the way.
Like something Joe Beningo would say.
That is our all-night guy at FAN in New York. That's exactly right.
Go Ewing and the Knicks. Goodbye, Parcells. I can't believe they traded Keyshawn. Juice me.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
According to Francesa, they drafted that whack job kicker from Poland. You know, they're supposed to be the greatest kicker in the history of pro football.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
The guy now is looking to do some hard time for some mess he got into. We had that story the other day. But so they have a very good team, the Oakland Raiders.
You never know.
Yeah.
I think I should be doing middays somewhere.
Imus in the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
The WFAN Imus Morning Show, as well as the most successful comic ever to come out of Farmingdale High School. Jerry Seinfeld went to neighboring Massapequa High, by the way. Or maybe that's William Falk, the guy who wrote this article. Maybe he's describing Rob as that.
Yeah, but where did he get the idea?
Well, he got the idea from Rob. This is the single biggest suck-up piece. This is an embarrassing piece, and I'm firing Rob this morning.
Does the guy listen?
Wouldn't bother me. Yeah, I'm having Rob. When Rob comes in this morning, just tell him he's fired. In fact, you tell him, okay, Bernard?
10-4.
Okay. Rob will be happy to
Don't let him come back to the office either. Meet him at the door.
And it's got to, yeah, exactly. Don't even meet him up in the studio cafe because he always stops by there to see what they're serving for lunch.
Yeah.
Right. Have a security guard escort him down to get his stuff out.
Exactly. Have a security guard escort him down to get his stuff in these files and get it out. No, let's confiscate the stuff in these files.
That's it. I was going to say, why are you going to let him in the building?
No, we're not even going to let him in the building.
Well, now that he's gone, he'll be the most prolific and funniest person on the show.
That would be Larry Kenny.
That would be Larry Kenny, yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Hey, man.
So anyway.
No jealousy.
Well, Rob has something to fall back on. He'll be headlining at the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will turn into a... maybe he can go over and work with Scott and Todd.
He'll spend more time with his family like he says he wants to do.
Sure.
Exactly. He has his 3 kids. Maybe he can spend time with them.
That's right.
As he claims he wants to do.
And didn't spend any time talking about us in that article.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
So.
More free time to sit down and watch the Comedy Channel and take notes.
Hey,
man.
Hey, man.
Hey, it's Howard.
NFL.
Hey, it's Howard. Amos. You suck, Imus.
It's 23 after the hour here on the Imus the Morning program.
What's up with the crickets, Imus?
You washed up.
NFL.
Go pay in a phone booth.
NFL teams have made all their selections now. And as you heard, the New York Jets selected a real dandy, flashy wide receiver, Keyshawn Johnson. The talented Johnson said it was important that he was picked by a team that resides in a city.
I'm from a big city in Los Angeles, whether it's Chicago, just a city in general, I think is a good fit for me.
Keyshawn obviously unaware all NFL teams now play in cities. But the Jets, of course, ecstatic. Here's Coach Rich Kotite on Keyshawn's size.
As a big man, he can do all the things a little man can do.
Why didn't you pick a little man then?
Yeah. Well, not to feed him as much.
Get two little men.
Exactly.
Come on.
What a moron.
We picked a big man because he can do all the things the little guy can do.
Well,
Who wrote that for you, Mike? Rob?
well, here now the funniest and most prolific member of the Imus Opening program.
Stop. Let me grab my sides. Go ahead, boss.
Grab my sides going in, so I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Rob Bartlett. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, man!
Yeah, how you doing, Howard? Hey, Bernard, there's some good news, babe.
What is it?
Rogaine's over the counter now.
That's the kind of stuff you get. You don't get that anywhere else, baby.
You just keep it right where it is. How about this, Milwaukee?
Oh, God.
So this is a disgraceful piece.
Why is it disgraceful?
Well, because, you did suck up to me a lot, but...
Well, wasn't that the agenda?
I guess, yeah. And you all excited about Vegas?
Very excited. I'm very pumped.
Do you have the New York Times there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, D9.
Yeah.
A big article on the I-Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, of course, that's D9. That's way back in the paper, isn't it?
It's in the business.
All the way to the back of the paper.
Yeah, it's in the business section of the New York Times, the most widely circulated paper in America, unlike Newsday, who you can't give away.
Well, it's the My Weekly Reader of Long Island, yes.
Yeah, okay, well.
Oh, God.
Weekly Reader.
So, Rob.
Yeah.
Here's your assignment today.
Go ahead.
You buy a copy of the New York Times.
Yeah.
You turn to page D9.
Yeah.
You memorize this article.
Okay.
And there'll be a test when you get to work today.
Okay.
Get off the phone.
Oh, I just want to ask a question.
Yeah.
What shoe store is Bernie doing tomorrow?
Oh.
I get it.
Oh. Which shoe store is Bernie doing? Oh, really?
Actually, it's a tire store on Saturday. To be quite honest.
Hey, New York, call waiting. The Imus channel is now open.
Hi, it's Imus standing by to share my secret life with you.
That's right. Now you can reach out and touch a figure of legend, Radio Hall of Famer Don Imus. Have you made contact yet? What are you waiting for? Don Imus is ready to pick up the Imus in the Morning phone line hotline. 4.5 hours, 5 days a week on the radio won't satisfy the inner Imus fan. So now he's making himself available in person and in private to satiate those cravings for...
More Imus, more Imus, more Imus, more Imus.
Sure, radio's great, but now talk to the man one-on-one.
Hey, it's Imus. Are you little peaches fuzzy, huh? Tell me, Imus wants to know, baby. Oh, I see. What that is, it's slippery. Here's your big old sweet potato slippery, baby. Tell me about the big old tuba you got.
How intimate can you get? Or need a good laugh at your next party? Call Imus. Put him on the speakerphone. Tell him to say regularly or Knockman and break out the beer.
Regularly. Napkin. Knock.
Ha, ha, ha. What a drooling fool. And it's all available on the Imus in the Morning phone line hotline. But wait, what about sex, you say? Imus has no sex life, but he can dream, can't he?
You ever wondered what Dean Rusk would look like whaling on Olympia Dukakis, turtle style, in an igloo? I have, and I'll tell you. Give me a call.
It's hot. It's steaming. It's your open channel to Imus. 24 hours a day. To the man who never sleeps at 1-900-BOREDOM. 1-900-BOREDOM. He's made his friends' eyes glaze over. Now it's your turn. Call now. Kids, get mom and dad's permission before dialing, or poison their food. Either way, you're a winner. $50 first minute, $25 each minute thereafter. The Imus phone line hotline is a service of Somonex Deep Sleep Aids. Busy signal, Imus is also available at 1-900-COMA. Call now.
Speaking of that, whatever happened to all those great Jewish blues singers from the 60s, huh? Remember Room Full of Jews? The Jews Project? The Jews Magoos? The Moody Jews? Little Shlomo and the Rabbis of Soul?
I woke up yesterday. I didn't know what to do. I lost my yarmulke, and now I can't go to shul. Imus in the morning.
Who makes the
All right, 8 minutes past the hour.
You know, there are places they could avoid, like, you know, the outbound Pulaski
like
Skyway,
traffic
which is
report.
closed. Oh, listen to you.
Your wedding, for example, that's something to avoid.
No, that's something, you know, that'll be great.
Well,
terrific.
please, it's not going to be great.
Why not?
Well,
It's going to be fabulous.
What are you going to do on your wedding night for something different? Go bowling?
Oh, listen to you.
That's the worst thing you've ever said in your life.
It's up there. It's definitely up there, Charles.
I don't mind.
That was bad, wasn't it?
Horrible. Idiot.
I'm sorry, Laura.
No, you're not.
You're right, I'm not. 16 to the hour.
Give a damn.
16 to Here in the Imus in the Morning program.
The only way she'll score.
Talking with Laurie McNichol, who's getting married here in the next year or so. And when are you getting married, Laurie?
Oh, sometime within the year.
Sometime within a year. And I said, what are you going to do for something different on your wedding night? Go bowling?
Joe, if you're listening, he's only kidding.
Good Lord.
Oh, God.
Proud of yourself? Well, yes.
Here's Sally from St. Charles, Illinois. Good morning, Sally.
Hi. I heard one of those electrocutions yesterday on the Steve Dahl show.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's a guy with a real heavy southern accent, and he's just doing a play-by-play of what they're doing. They're strapping in his leg now. Now they got the other leg. I thought you'd hear something like being under high-tension wires or something.
Oh, you mean like this?
Yeah, that's good.
Is that what you had in mind?
Yeah, I was hoping for something like that.
Imus in the Morning, 2020 Sports. Let's go to the audio tape.
Indiana wants me. Lord, I can't go back there.
And they won't. Indiana wanted me, and the Sixers got me. The Pacers done in 4. Good morning, this is John Minka with sports.
Lose the music stuff. It's lame.
You don't like the musical
No,
stuff?
it's stupid. And it's always stupid when you do it. It's always stupid. Isn't it, Lou?
No, I don't think it's always stupid.
Is it often stupid?
I think it adds a little bit to, the theme.
Help me pound Minko a little bit.
Yeah, really good. Lord. What is that? It's always stupid. Isn't it, Lou?
I need some support
I mean, what
here.
the hell is that? Why do you do that?
I don't know.
It's not.
It sucks.
What has
Minko
happened to you?
It's always stupid. Don't you think, Lou?
Right, Charles?
God almighty.
Chuck, help me.
I can't because he does it to me all the time.
I know.
Jeez, and it's hideous.
What's hideous?
You.
That's a weasel deal by Rob, isn't it, Chuck?
Boy, no kidding. Don't you think,
Then you gotta
Chuck?
see Rob when he comes in.
Even Charles agrees with me. You are hideous.
Oh,
What
God
has happened to
almighty.
you in the last hour?
I don't know.
In the last 60 minutes?
last hour.
Revolution has
This is the
changed.
last
the last
60
50
minutes.
Years.
Good Lord. The last 60 years, for God's sake.
65.
What an a-hole you are, Bernie.
Don't you think, Chuck?
Yeah,
Right, Minko?
Big time, right, Mink?
NBA.
All in a chicken effort, don't you think, Chuck?
Like you say, Minko, isn't he a...
There you go, Ming.
NBA playoff basketball. Allen Iverson drops in 33 as the Sixers eliminate the Pacers 88-85. Iverson overcome with emotion.
It's special, man.
Yeah, Pacers led 85-82, but the Sixers rally in the final 2 minutes to come away with the victory of that game.
I just kind of like him, Allen Iverson. He really is he's a moron.
Please.
Who tipped me out to that first? You, Lou?
Yeah, well, I told you about him.
He really is just. I mean, get over yourself. And he's one of those nitwits
Not a team guy.
who's I said my teammates urged me to keep shooting and said, I said Allen Iverson gonna get it done in the crowd. They pumped me up and got Allen Iverson in.
That's right.
Shut up.
They were saying,
Shut up.
give
Go
Allen-
get a bunch of more tattoos, you moron. God almighty, what a
Telling
nitwit.
Allen Iverson to have Allen Iverson take the shot like Allen Iverson often does.
Jesus, I mean, do they realize how absolutely stupid they sound?
Next thing he'll be calling himself the I-Man.
I mean, it's just it's absurd.
Won't he, Chuck?
Oh, well, I mean, I just can't. I mean, think that is really just idiotic. Don't you think so, Chuck?
God
I'm really sick of these black people, aren't you, Chuck?
That's just
Mako continues.
like you say, Chuck.
There will be a Game 5 between the Knicks and Raptors. Vince Carter hits for 28. Toronto topping the Knicks 193. Knicks coach Jeff Van Gundy has the quick explanation.
They were more aggressive. We got whipped.
As simple as that. Marcus Camby just 4 points and 4 rebounds.
Did you see that big gorilla dunk that Carter put on him there?
He had a couple of them.
Yeah.
One in the open floor, 2-hand slam.
He's a jerk.
He played well last night, though. He was very, very aggressive, and
he's
They're going down.
they are going down big time.
And Game 5 will be tomorrow night.
I'm actually praying the Knicks beat them.
Oh, here? Yep. Really?
Yeah.
This is a divine intervention
You
thing?
really changed your
These
tune.
are
What
rare.
has happened in the last
I'm
hour?
not a Knicks fan, but I also don't root against the Knicks in this particular instance. But I.
And all the old thugs from the Knicks are on the Raptors team.
I hate the Raptors. I mean, I hate them. I want the Knicks to win this. So.
Yeah, we'll see if that
Go,
comes true.
New York, go, New York, go.
I don't want to go that far, but
It gives me an idea for another tune.
Vince Carter. So, you had a chance to hear Sid Rosenthal? What's his name?
Rosenstein.
Rosenkrantz.
Yes, I did. Matter of fact, the training that he had here, I helped him train on the computer and gave him some tidbits and things that he could do here on the program.
How do you think he's doing?
I guess he's doing fine. But, my evaluation doesn't, really count.
What you said
That counts if I ask you, doesn't it, Chuck? Don't you agree?
I couldn't agree more, man.
No. If I ask you, I mean,
he's doing fine.
Well, here was our question. My first question was,
yes,
they fired the guy over at NEW.
Yeah.
And admittedly, now the whole radio stations, including Opie and Anthony, suck.
Oh, they're
It's a white trash fiesta.
They're going in the toilet, too.
Just white trash idiot radio.
You saw the ratings.
Look at the nipples on that one.
I mean, they took a dive.
Oh, she's got brown on her thong. What is that? Ooh.
I don't think we're in a position, Chuck, to be disparaging people's ratings.
Absolutely we are, as long as it's those guys.
Anyway,
we revel in agony.
Don't you think,
people got hip to Opie and Anthony. What the hype there?
Apparently so.
Two just gutless weasels. I mean, they're probably nice kids, but I mean, absolutely no guts. Just laughable. And that whole Howard Stern thing, I mean, that was laughable, wasn't it, Bernie?
Oh, clearly. Do they hold hands when they do the broadcast?
And then
Siegfried and Roy of radio.
And then we asked them to appear in the program, and they had to get permission from their manager?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I mean, that's when we knew that they're
was
just...
sad. A couple of pussies.
That's what the deal is. I mean, it doesn't mean they aren't funny or they aren't any good. They are, but
Yeah,
they're just...
into that kind of thing.
God, that is really weak. I mean, that's...
Talk to my manager.
Well, that is... Don't mention Howard Stern's name. Don't say anything bad about Howard, and they go along with it.
Oh, okay, we won't anymore.
Well, you that's the time you tell the management to stick it.
I'm sorry, we didn't know we were offending somebody.
Anyway.
Come on, you guys.
Hey, lady, do you shave your bush?
No, I mean, I know.
Yeah, that's all.
Stupid. Anyway, so Rosenberg's on the morning show, and he gets blown out of that, and that was dreadful, I'm told. And
well, that was woof.
so and then they play. Very likable kid.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and I, there's been in my career, there's been 100 people who got their start on this program. So he could be 101, but you got to be able to produce. And so far, I think I agree with you. He sucks.
Say that.
Didn't he say that, Charles?
I
We had a sign that said Sid sucks.
No, that's just the T-shirts I was selling.
You're selling T-shirts, Sid sucks T-shirts?
He's got them in his trunk.
Unbelievable.
Wait a minute. On the internet.
Hey, by the way, for Father's Day, we're getting the Lion Weasel Fat Loser T-shirts ready.
T-shirts?
Yeah, to go with your Fat Loser Lion Weasel Bald-Headed Geek hats.
Those are fine hats.
I think it ain't better than this, does it?
That doesn't get any better than that, actually. God almighty.
What better for Father's Day than a Lion Weasel Fat Loser T-shirt and a Lion Weasel Fat Loser Bald-Headed Geek baseball cap? Not cheap caps either.
No.
I like the Imus Ranch hats.
If you know a Lion Weasel who is also a bald-headed geek, you can now cover both.
Yeah, by two hands.
Here you go, Mom.
We'll probably have some kind of...
I love you. This is beautiful.
Prayer, happy Father's Day, you bald-headed geek.
Yeah, bald-headed geek hat and a Lion Weasel T-shirt.
Fat loser.
You're the best, Pop.
What's better than a bald-headed geek hat and a Lion Weasel T-shirt?
There you go. Cover everything.
Or a bald-headed geek Fat Loser T-shirt.
Perfect.
Here you are, Dad.
Yeah, and a 40-ounce.
Son of a bitch, never took me to see the Yankees. Yeah, here, wear this.
You bald-headed geek.
Fat bastard sitting on the couch drinking beer.
You drunken old jackass.
You drunken old fool.
Yeah.
You're lucky I don't have a brother and we're in there with a couple of shotguns.
Thanks for visiting me in prison. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go. Happy Father's Day, you son of a bitch. Oh, man.
Thanks for having sex with sis. Screwing me all up.
Like a hedonist on the fast track to fight back, 'cause that's a fact, Jack. They a bunch of potbellies who call the kettle black. Can't get the house managers to cut me any leeway. Everybody knows it was only just a BJ. I'll survive all the jive sitting in hog heaven. 55 needs 12 to make a 67. What y'all gonna do? Don't you know the bubble round he always comes through, especially when he's fired up. Let me hear you say fired up. Maintaining his dignity, facing them charges indignantly, 'cause he know that he's fired up. Let me hear you say fired up. This trial is unrefined, a total waste of time, not to mention that it's all on the taxpayer's dime. Ain't even on the cover of Newsweek or Time. Bottom line, Bubba Rhymes didn't commit no high crimes. Now the little girl I freak with and I was indiscreet with, I really didn't cheat with, 'cause I didn't sleep with. All she did was eat if I couldn't keep a secret. Gave me a gift, but I didn't want to keep it. She made me all sweaty, in her satin teddy. Gave me some heady, but we weren't going steady. It was really, really petty, but I checked it all with Betty. Made sure girlfriend's alibi was at the ready. Don't want to patronize, looking for a compromise. Can't control my penis, so I should be penalized. Criticize and moralize when you all should sympathize. Cigar between her thighs, you know y'all would do likewise. Ladies in the house can see, it ain't so very hard to get with me. All I gotta say is fired up. Let me hear you say fired up. Ain't looking for relationships since I got hosed by that Linda Tripp. Don't you know that she was wired up? Let me hear you say wired up. If I was a betting man, I'd make a prediction. Try as they can, they won't get a conviction. There's no hope for Bubba's removal, cause the Pope don't even have my kind of approval. So I came on a little blue dress. The polls keep saying you could not care less. Ain't nobody getting fired up. Ain't nobody getting fired up. What I did with a fat cigar there, but for the grace of God goes Bob Barr. Stick it in and then fire it up. Smoke that, let's fire it up. So what the Senate think they're gonna do? Don't they know that Bubba Rhymes, he always comes through, especially when he's fired up. Let me hear you say fired up. Maintaining his dignity, facing them charges indignantly, cause you know that he's fired up. Let me hear you say fired up. Baby, let me bang your box. 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 Baby, let me bang your, baby, let me bang your, baby, let me bang your box. Imus in the morning. If you want action and some real satisfaction, you can always go.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah? Did you watch a game?
Yes.
Where?
At home.
Oh.
With my wife and my son. We had fun, actually.
Yeah, good.
My wife made some nachos, and we have Fred's Southwest salsa, of course.
Oh, by the way, I was down Mohegan Sun, and I tried to tell him I was a regular caller to the I-Man show.
I had the choice of using mild, medium, or hot. Yeah. I thought, well, hell, I'll go with the hot. Not good. Not to eat that much of it. It is hot.
Sharp.
Yeah, you have to be ready to eat it.
I got you.
What'd they say to you?
They were very gracious.
Oh, they weren't.
Yeah, yes, they were.
Why did you tell them?
The pit boss, I was at the crab table, and the pit boss came over, and he gave me a comp thing, you know, how they comp you. And I got home, and in the mail comes a letter, a minus 24 points.
What?
Well, you know how they comp you?
Oh.
They give you so much. Well, anyway, forget about it. where were you for the game? At your house, right?
I was in Manhattan, yeah.
Yeah. Well, did I ever tell you about the time I bet 2,000 on the game? I couldn't dare watch it. It was about 15 years ago.
You never did tell me that story, no.
No. So I went out and I just took a drive around.
What game was it?
I think it was one of the San Francisco games.
Oh, okay. And you had bet on?
Yeah.
Who'd you bet on?
San Francisco.
Oh, you did?
I couldn't dare to watch it.
Oh, of course.
So I'm driving around and I saw a penguin walking down the street.
Yeah.
I picked the penguin up.
You picked the penguin up?
Yeah. And put him in my car. Like 30 seconds later, the cop pulled me over. He says, I saw you put that penguin in your car. You take that penguin right to the zoo right now. I said, I will. So, I did. About an hour later, cop sees me, pulls me over again. He said, I thought I told you to take that penguin to the zoo. I said, I did. Now I'm taking him to the ball game. I love you, man.
Track melt like it's hot wax. I'm a super dope iconoclast. No one has to pass. Checked out the Oscar telecast. Cause I'm free at last. Free at last. But I gotta drop the science here. While I was watching them Academy Awards, I was actually wishing I'd been convicted. Cause I knew ain't no way prison could have been more painful than that. And I don't just mean that weird-ass Eskimo Bjork singing that Icelandic monk temple chant bullshit in that dress that looked like she done the duck in the parking lot. I'm talking about them two frontin' bitches, J-Lo and J-Ro. The backstabbing hoe Jennifer Lopez and the self-centered thinking she all that bitch Julia Roberts. You know, J-Lo, yo, I made that disloyal little Puerto Rican a star. For one, for me, that player hater still be a fly girl on Living Color giving Keenan Ivory Wayans head so she could get more screen time. Can't sing, can't act. What she got going for her? Well, if y'all saw them Oscars, you know what she got going for her, because she had it all out there like the display case at a sushi bar. Breasts like a couple of bean burritos and ass bigger than a $12 pizza. She is some Indira Gandhi rap that let God and everybody know she won't wear no bra. Now, I'm a clothing designer, and that was one fashion faux pas, know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't that damn cold in Hollywood, but she had them high beams on, yo. Her milk duds was a popping kid. I'm telling you, she could cut glass with them things. If she had only won that deal that night at Club Manhattan, I never would have even had to go to trial, because I would have had 2 extra places to hide the gun. Got to have a really strong self-image to wear that kind of shit. That's why I'm surprised that Julia Roberts went as conservative as she did. With an ego like hers, you would have thought she would have shown up in 2 Band-Aids and a cork. Because when this hoe gave her acceptance speech, I wonder who she thought she was talking to, because I know she thought she was the only person in the room. All that don't be playing no music, I'm going to be up here a while. Bitch, please. Look, you only got that Oscar because on their ad campaign for you, Universal spent the equivalent of the gross national product of a small European country. The movie you should have got the Oscar for was Pretty Woman, because that's obviously the role that required you to do the most acting. Because, girl, I got 2 words for you. Oral surgery. Pull out them chicklet teeth you got in your mouth and buy yourself some dental implants. Gabby Hayes had a better smile. And speaking of ugly-ass bitches, what the dilly with Sarah Jessica Parker? How that Bezo get any sex in the city looking like an anteater? Now, that's just one man's perspective. I know y'all think I'm just another typical misogynistic rap artist. I love women's. I worship women's. I put bitches up on pedestals. Because it's easier to see up their dresses that way, and it's easier to pick them off that way.
That's when things got out of control. She didn't want you. He had his way. She said, let's go. He said, no way. Come on, babe. It's your lucky day. Shut your mouth. We're gonna do it my way. Come on, baby. Don't be afraid. If it wasn't for day rape, I'd never get laid. The next day, she went to her drawer. Looked up her local attorney at law. Went to the phone and filed a police report. And then she took the guy's ass to court. Well, the day he stood in front of the judge, she screamed, she lies, that little slut! The judge knew he was flush, and he gave him 25 years. And one night in jail, it was getting late. He was butt raped by a large inmate, and he screamed. But the guards paid no attention to his cries. That's when things got out of control. Moral of the day, red story, it does not pay to drunk and horny, but that's the way it had to be. They locked him up and threw away the key. Well, I can't take pity on men of this kind, so he now takes it in the behind. Imus in the morning.
Well, the next episode of The Dopranos, the boss's wife is starting to lose her popularity.
Mono, look at that approval rating. Not that it's surprising. I'm just amazed it took the rest of the world so long to hate the f***ing bitch as much as I do.
While his daughter's showing signs of rebellion.
Hey, Chelsea, what are you doing listening to that charcoal briquette? This Moulin Yon Puff Daddy's a f***ing punk. Fleetwood Mac, Elvis, now that's music.
But circumstances find him looking to cut a deal with the very same man he condemns.
Hey, kid, you mobbed up. I think Goody Mob-I, lynch mob, mob affiliated, but they all bite my thigh. No, I mean, have you ever done time? No, man, I got me an acquittal.
Yeah, spell it.
Good, because I got a proposition for you. I'm going to be doing business up in your territory. I want you to smooth everything over with the rest of your people. I'm going to open up a titty bar. Call it the Bubba Bing. All right, well, one hand washes the other, know what I'm saying? It's going to cost you. I want you to announce me changing my name to P. Diddy. Oh, whatever you want. I don't give a f***. I'll call you Rochester if you want.
And although business makes for strange bedfellows, he's not prepared for who he finds visiting his daughter in her dorm room.
Chelsea, what the f*** are you thinking about?
Bad enough your mother's in bed with the f***ing Jews. I gotta find you getting banged by a bully.
Deception, betrayal, racism. This week on the next Sopranos, only on Imus in the Morning.
I was gonna do, Diddy, but then I realized it wasn't good for business, so we worked something out. He's gonna do some yard work for me. Hey, you on the lawn, hold that ladder a little higher, will you?
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like you. Imus in the morning.
Man, and winds up taking little Brendan, his kid, to a Knicks game, sitting down there. Was just sitting next to Spike Lee,
About 4 or 5 seats away. Center court, courtside, right next to our broadcast booth.
That's right. So what?
Go New York, go New York, go.
No.
I mean, that's just so.
If I visit somebody in a cancer ward, doesn't mean I'm pro-cancer.
Oh, that's a pretty lame analogy here. I mean, that's a very weak analogy. But don't ever accuse me of flip-flopping on anything
I took
again.
my son to a basketball game.
Did you take him in the locker room?
It's the only game in town.
Yes or no?
I went in there for a couple of minutes.
What for?
Just to look around and see how the idiots.
Did you introduce him?
I infiltrated the enemy.
Did you introduce him to any players? Were you with him?
Sure, I was
Okay.
there.
And did he meet any players?
Of course he did.
Who did he meet?
Met Chris Dudley.
And
Chris
what did he-
Dudley, the only one I met
Mr. Dudley.
because Chris called into the program a few years ago, and that's it.
And because he's white.
No, not at all.
Okay.
He didn't get a chance to meet his good buddy John Starks, who you met at that restaurant that time, and kicked up
You know
with him,
what?
too.
You know what I find outrageous, and I'm serious about this, is why these black players, why these African-American players, are forced by Massa Whitey to play basketball on Martin Luther King's birthday, and I'm serious. I think it's outrageous. I absolutely refuse to work. That's why we weren't here yesterday.
Now you sound like an idiot.
I do?
Now you sound like you're patronizing, going out of your way to patronize the brothers and the sisters, yo.
I'm not going out of my way to do anything.
How do you know they're
I'm
forced?
not like Bob Grant showing up at the core dinner. No. I mean, everybody knows where I'm coming from.
How do you know they're forced?
Why don't you set yourself
How
on
do you
fire?
know that it's not something they have elected to do?
Have any of the players ever expressed any sentiments about it to you, Mike?
They've actually expressed that they enjoy playing to show honor to Dr. King.
That's what I'm saying.
No, well, never mind that. Idiot. You really are. You're the biggest phony. Don't you ever accuse me
How
of
do
being
you
a phony.
figure?
Oh, Bob, because I know what a phony.
I took my kid to a basketball. Can I help it if the...
Take him to a Nets game.
There you go.
That's a cesspool, and plus it's in New Jersey. The Garden's a great place.
And now, Imus in the Morning 2020 Sports. Here's Mark Breen.
Free throw short. Missed him up.
Tipped in by Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant tipped it in. Kobe got it over Shea. Unbelievable.
The Laker legend reaches a milestone. Good morning, Mike Breen with sports. The Lakers beating the Magic at the Forum last night. Secondary story. Secondary to the 3,000th career consecutive broadcast of the great Chick Hearn, who has not missed a Laker game since 1965.
You know, even I know this, and I'm not a basketball fan. Chick Hearn was the first guy to start identifying how far away the players were from the basket when they were shooting. 15 feet, top of the key, or whatever it was, or 17. And somehow he knew, all of these various distances and so on. But great broadcaster, and I understand a very nice man as well. So.
That's right. Hearn was asked how his voice has stayed so strong through all these years. There you have it. Chick Hearn, the Magic, after 32 years.
I didn't know Warner was here.
Thanks, Soupy. But not everyone happy last night. Ooh. After the loss, here's Orlando coach Chuck Daly.
Guys that play hard will play. Guys that don't play hard won't play. I don't care if we get beat by 50.
Boy, Chuck's sure glad he's back in coaching after being out. He's done after this year. Another great story in the NBA occurred Sunday in Boston, where the Celtics retired Robert Parrish's jersey. The halftime ceremony, however, was marred by team president Red Auerbach, whose speech started off well enough.
Robert Parrish not only came to play, he came to win.
But Red just kept going on and on for 17 and a half minutes.
No, he didn't.
Until it became uncomfortable at the end.
I know that he'll be a winner his whole life. And I want to join with all of you in wishing him the very best for what he does in the future. Thank you very much.
And because Auerbach went so long, Parrish, unable to address the crowd, And that was unfortunate.
Sounds like the Iron Man stand-up back in the 70s.
Just a minute. I have a point I want to make. I haven't done swear with Fleur yet.
Where you going, everyone?
Super Bowl.
Get some hamburgers to go.
Say hallelujah.
Say hi to Larry Merchant.
Lenny Bruce as Billy Graham.
Gentlemen, I know what some of you are thinking out there. I know what's going on, gentlemen. Some of you gentlemen who have never seen me before, you're saying, well, look at that man up there, this modern-day prophet there. Look at him ranting and raving. Look at him, he's so smart. He told us where the heavenly land is. Now, does he know what to do with it when he gets it? Well, maybe, gentlemen, no, that's not. Maybe I'm dumb. That's it. That old dumbbell up there. Ha, ha, ha! There's the dummy. Well, you all have a laugh. That's right, laugh at him. Ho, 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 ho! There's the dummy. I'm dumb. Ha, 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 ha! Yes, I'm dumb. I got 2 Lincoln Continentals. That's a goddamn dumb I am. Imus in the morning.
Everyone's seen that duck who quacks Aflac in his TV commercials. What he doesn't tell you is that Aflac is the world leader in supplemental insurance. When you get injured or miss work, it pays you cash for things like lost pay and other expenses. Who couldn't use that? Out at the ranch, we got 1 million ducks.
Aflac?
Yeah, like that one. Ask your employer about Aflac, or simply go to Aflac.com. Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
American Family Life Insurance Company of Columbus.
Aflac?
He took on the system and wouldn't...
O'Connor, good morning, Cardinal O'Connor.
Good morning, God, lad. Smack out of the way.
Well, that would be fine. Come on here.
Cardinal's not happy today, Mr. Mark.
What's the matter?
First off, I'm here looking at you. That's one. Just smack you. Still ticked off about that bagel-eating blasphemous baseball owners scheduling an open day on Good Friday, be Jesus.
Well?
Bloody travesty. Take me out to the ball game? I don't think so, Mr. Mark. Just as soon sit home and watch the movie Yentl. And sniff one of Wolf's filthy underpanties.
No, come on here. We just don't.
How much with the whole Yankee Stadium had collapsed on those hot dog eating heathens on opening day, Mr. Mark. Including our speech-impaired mayor, God forgive me, be Jesus. Never go to a baseball game again. Baseball sucks.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Bunch of tobacco-chewing chumps who stuff their cups with rosin bags, no doubt, Mr. Mark. Plus, the beer sucks, and I'm with you, McCord, on this.
Yeah.
Too many dirty-looking Dominicans in the game today, Jesus. Stay home and choke up on my own bat. I'll do that, Mr. Mark. The winning numbers in the New York State Lottery is as follows.
Yeah, what are they?
Good. The daily number.
Yes? What is it?
Let me just say this about that pig Bill Clinton, Mr. Marr.
What is the number?
Taking communion in a Catholic church in Africa.
Huh?
I'll tell you what, Mr. Marr, a sacrilegious photo op that it was. They come up to the cardinal over at the cathedral, stand in line waiting for communion. Wouldn't be a wafer I'd be shoving in his mouth, I tell you that. See how he likes that. Am I right, McCord? Am I right, McPhil, you little dirtbag you? Go on ahead. Take a little old schmuck you. Well, Mr. Marr.
Yeah?
The win for number.
Okay, what are the win for numbers?
Look for that, Mr. Marr.
We didn't get the daily number, as you may remember.
What if I give you 6 inches or some damn thing?
Oh, come on.
Well, Mr. Marr, though it's a great thing, listening to you drone on about the ranch and all its attendant bull shenanigans.
What scared me there? God.
I did think of 2 things listening to you, Mr. Marr. First, I thought of cutting off both my ears, be Jesus.
Yeah.
That happened. Second, I thought it'd be great to bring the story to primetime television, Mr. Marr. Be an inspirational thing. Raise lots of shekels for you and your bagel-eating suit bosses, be Jesus.
Yeah.
Be sort of like that Angel show on CBS. It'd be about the eye man who goes about life doing good deeds for sick kids in the community.
Yeah.
With these 2 flunkies, Chuck and Fred.
Yeah.
We'd call it Touched by an A-hole, be Jesus. I smell big ratings, am I right, McCall?
That's that funny, Charles?
No, Touched by an A-hole, be Jesus.
Why aren't we laughing a lot?
Suzanne Wright falling off her couch at this point. Well, congratulations, Mr. Marr.
Yeah.
And you and Mrs. Imus being pregnant with a baby boy.
Mm-hmm.
You have any idea how it happened, Mr. Marr? What are you going to name the boy? Lyle or Eric? Jesus. The picture numbers is as follows. Thank you.
Come Come on here. Let's wrap this up.
Which doesn't belong and why?
Oh, this is my favorite part.
Which doesn't belong and why?
All right, which doesn't belong and why?
A. Lonnie Guinier.
Lonnie Guinier.
B. Pete Hamill.
Pete Hamill.
C. Imus in the morning. Which doesn't belong and why?
I would say Pete Hamill.
Wrong, you mealy-mouthed mongoloid, you bejesus. Did you say Pete Hamill, Mr. Martin?
Yes, I did.
Well, all three of these left-leaning children of the 60s, the early 60s, no longer have drinking problems and are more boring than baseball.
Yeah.
The answer is B. Legendary drunk Pete Hamill doesn't belong. because unlike the other two, Pete Hamill never slept with the black man, bejesus. I don't care if it rains or freezes as long as the Iron Man dies, bejesus. And I had you smutch it.
Cardinal O'Connor here on the Oh, God.
Where you can go, where Marilyn's still dancing with DiMaggio.
Henrik on first base. Nobody is out. DiMaggio up. Score 4-3 New York. DiMaggio batting right-handed, one hit and 3 times up. The pitch hitting straight away. A long, high fly ball going far out into left field. The ball is over the fence for a home run. A tremendous smash.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Imus in the morning.
What would you do? Cooper Tire dealer. Buy Cooper tires from CDM Service Center, 1511 130th Street in College Point. Currently 62 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco with 2020 Sports on WFAN, the flagship station of New York Mets baseball.
Sports Radio 66
All right, ladies and gents, we're wrapping this baby up. Down the backstretch right now. It's 5:05, about 25 minutes to go before the best of Imus in the morning comes your way. And that's the last of the best of Imus, because Monday he's back. Back live in action. And then, of course, after Imus, what is the rest of today's schedule now? Susan and Jody and then Dog, right? Dog by himself.
Dog will be at Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium, right, for the big showdown with Joe Torre. So that should be some very exciting stuff.
Nixon.
Indeed. And thank you so much as always, Imus, in the morning. And let me apologize to you for having to wait until now to give you my comments and observations on the most recent debate among our current crop of Republican presidential candidates. But that's what I want to focus on today, if I may.
Yeah.
So this isn't instant analysis. This shall be analysis delayed, eh?
God, fine.
Anywho, Dano, I tuned in, as you and many others did, to watch the performances of Huey, Dewey, Louie, Fooey, Screwy, and P.U.E., and failed to get any sense of gravitas, I'm afraid. Lightweights, J.D., not quite the same sort of candidate we had back there when Dick Nixon was in it, if I do say so myself. I don't believe any new light was thrown on anybody. Even with the presence of Governor George Bush, I don't feel we know any of these people better. And that, in and of itself, just may be a godsend. Unless you're a forensic pathologist, do you really want to know Steve Forbes any better? No. Excuse me, but I don't think so. I was under the impression that Mr. Forbes had undergone a makeover. Here's my question. From what to what? Cadaver to Martian? Test pilot for Stridex to ficus plant? I don't get it. What's changed? He still looks exactly like what people go to Roswell, New Mexico, hoping to see. We're spending $165 gazillion trying to determine if extraterrestrial life forms exist, and we've got a body part of one of them running for the presidency.
Steve Forbes is an alien body part?
In my view, yes.
Which one would that be?
Prick. I mean, could this thing be more annoying?
No.
With his attempts to be cute, making comments like he was happy that all the candidates were there, that no one was AWOL, as he put it, referring to the fact that Governor Bush had decided he would participate. All Forbes achieved, it seems to me, was to confirm in the minds of everybody that he's a wise ass, and not, as he claimed to be, by the way, a CEO, unless that stands for completely, egregiously offensive. I mean, Steve Forbes is a CEO of what? If his side-saddle motorcycling daddy hadn't left him about $1 billion and a magazine to play around with, I'm telling you, this guy's trolling chat rooms for people who dig getting their feet sniffed. God, what a truly awful person. You know what the year 2000 Forbes 500 will be?
No, what?
Steve Forbes' vote total. Ouch! No punches pulled, Dono, and no love lost in the old Dick Scope today. With debate analysis by Richard Nixon, who didn't fare so well with that jackass Kennedy way back when, before I became a president of the United States.
If you want action and some real satisfaction.
The case. The two guys I think that should be on there that did make it, maybe you can make a really good argument. Ellis Burks, number one, and probably Jeff Nelson, number two. Other than that, those Yankees that he selected, you can make a really good case.
You're telling me Aaron Seeley at 901 doesn't deserve to be in the All-Star team?
True. He picked Freddie Garcia over Aaron Seeley. You're right. But then what are you going to have, 10 Mariners on the team, too? I mean,
you got 20 Yankees on the team.
Let me ask you this. One more question. Do you think Cal Ripken, okay, he bounced two guys, David Bell and Troy Glaus, that Major League Baseball didn't have something to do about pumping up those votes? He jumped two guys, Cal Ripken. As much as Cal Ripken is a hero, an icon, he's retiring, God bless. You know, he's a great player, don't get me wrong. But there's no way he should have jumped two guys in the last 2 days by 45,000 votes.
That's a good point. Joe, good point, good argument. I mean, I myself could care less if Cal Ripken plays the game on Tuesday night. I could care less. Okay? It's like watching an old-timers game. I'm not interested. If Ripken wants to get a pinch hit in the third inning and, ground to second and get a 10-minute standing ovation, I'll stand up and clap and I'll have goosebumps. And the same goes for Tony Gwynn. But I don't need to see Cal Ripken play third base. I'm in total agreement with you. It's not necessary. He cost somebody else a spot. I totally agree. Totally. That Cal Ripken, Tony Gwynn stuff is long over. It's totally overblown. Enough. You're right. 250. Sports Radio 66.
Hi, can I help you?
This newspaper and guns.
Nice to have you back aboard. Hour 5 of our radio program. Nissan Motors presents this show today from the stadium, brought to you by also Independent Savings Bank. Discover your independence, and by Radisson Hotel on New York City's fashionable east side. The Joe Torre Report is brought to you by Nikon. They take the world's greatest pictures, yours, and Chase. The right relationship is everything, and the manager of the world champion Yankees is Joe Torre. And Joe, nice to have you with us. And, I've been very upset with this, and I'll come right out and say it. I think the way you handled this was an absolute disgrace. There's no way you could take 7 Yankees to the All-Star game here on Tuesday night.
Well, which one of them doesn't qualify?
Individually, you can make a case, Joe, but you cannot take 7 Yankees. You can't select 7 Yankees. It's not fair. You can't take 7 Yankees that you select. That's not right.
Chris, I didn't know you made the rules for this.
Well, I don't know you did either, Joe, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm the manager. Am I right? I mean, the fans vote for the first team.
Right.
And then the manager picks the rest of them. If they want to change that, have the fans vote for all 30.
Fans should not vote for all 30, but I expect my manager to have a little more...
I am not your manager, Chris.
No, I know that. I expect the All-Star... Well, you are in a way, Joe, because I'm a fan. And I go watch the All-Star game, so in a lot of ways you do represent me.
One thing I want to compliment you on, that you had the courage to confront me. Normally in past weeks, all week you ripped me, according to friends of mine, and you never had the courage to confront me. I give you a lot of credit for that today.
Well, hold on, I'll rip you a week, Joe. I've only done 2 shows.
I'm not talking about this week. I'm talking about past months.
How can I rip the Yankees?
I get calls from people, because I don't listen. You know that. I'm honest about that. But I get calls from people that, explain to me how, you're saying this, I can't wait till you go on that show. And all of a sudden, you're like a piece of pie, and I love it. But today, I give you a lot of credit for this.
Joe, I tell you right now, first off, it's hard to rip you. You've won 4 championships in 5 years. I got on you last year about the Clemens thing because I thought it was absolutely a joke that, Clemens, who, all of a sudden is a Yankee, and it's okay if he throws a Piazza's head.
I never said it was okay. Wait a minute. Hold it. I never said it was okay that he throws at his head. I told you he didn't throw at him on purpose.
But when he threw at the Yankees, you had it was a major deal. And then when he was at Toronto, and then he's at the Yankees, it's okay.
I said I understand that Bobby should be mad because I wouldn't want my player getting thrown at.
But, I mean, outside of that one incident, Joe, I can't think of too many things that I've gotten on you about, to be honest with you, because you've done a tremendous job as a manager. But in this case, I can't believe what you did here. You cannot take... I can understand that obviously the big three. I can even see a fourth. But for you to take 7 Yankees, I'll be honest, it's an insult. It's an absolute insult that you did that. And I'm very annoyed by it. And so are... And by the way, Yankee fans have called for 2 days. Big Yankee fans who are embarrassed by what you did.
Well, then, the only thing I could say is I apologize for it. But I don't apologize for taking the players. I mean, I apologize that people are hurt by this or insulted, but I have no problem taking Mike Stanton. He's appeared in over 40 games. I took Paul Quantrill for the same reason.
Well, plus you needed a Blue Jay.
Excuse me?
Plus you needed a Blue Jay representative.
I could have taken Shannon Stewart. Right?
You telling me Stanton deserved it more than Jeff Nelson, Joe?
Did you look at the numbers?
Yes, I did. Nelson, 35 innings.
I think Jeff Nelson has the qualifications to be on this team. I think Arthur Rhodes has the qualifications to be on this team. I think Jamie Moyer has the qualifications to be on this team. I think Seeley has the qualifications. He's pitching on Sunday, so we've eliminated that person. I think Radke, because I've done it in the past. The pitcher who starts on Sunday does not get picked.
You heard what Pinella said. That's not fair. He could have pitched on Tuesday.
But that's not the point. He's pitching on Sunday.
Bobby's taking Rick Reed and Randy Johnson. They're pitching on Sunday.
I'm not making his rules. I left Milton off this team last year because he pitched on Sunday. I took him this year.
So that's a Joe Torre rule. If you pitch on Sunday or scheduled to pitch, you're not going to be eligible for the All-Star game.
Chris, let me just say one thing.
Even if you're Pedro Martinez.
Just let me tell you one thing, okay? These are the rules that I have lived by here for the last few years. And whether they're right or wrong, you need some kind of criteria to go by. You understand that?
Well, I'm not going to argue too much on a Sunday. I think it's wrong because I think Seeley would appreciate the gesture of being in the All-Star game when he deserves it in his hometown, Seattle.
Let me say one thing. Another thing, Chris. I took Seeley last year. Okay. So I didn't overlook Seeley. I have a great deal of respect for Aaron Seeley.
Well, how about Tim Wakefield, Joe?
Tim Wakefield's another one that was on that list. I have a great deal of respect for him, too. How many can you take?
Well, you got to take one Red Sox. They're in first place, so I've been with you all year. You didn't take one Red Sox to the All-Star game.
How about Ramirez?
Well, he got voted in. That's not your decision.
Oh,
you don't take one Red Sox to the All-Star game when they're in first place all season?
I don't know how to answer that question. Who, Wakefield? Well, it would have been Pedro if he didn't get hurt.
Well, he's not here, Joe. You got to take one Red Sox. I mean, they're 16, 17 games over 500. They've had a great season. I understand that the whole is better than the sum of the parts with that team, but Wakefield's got a 2.62 ERA. He's pitched in a ton of games, and he's a big reason why they're 16 over. How does he not go?
No question about it. There's no question about it. But you get 30 players, okay? And I've taken 30 players, Chris. Believe me, I respect what you're saying, okay? And I have gone over every single player that you have mentioned to me. The thing that would have been a boo-boo on me is if somebody got by me without thinking about it. It's not easy to say no to people. Yeah, I picked 7 of my players. Yeah, I knew I was going to get criticized. But I am also loyal to my players who are qualified to play in the All-Star game.
You know, Joe, listen, I understand loyalty, but this is the All-Star game. America doesn't want to see 7 Yankees at the game. I know that. I guarantee it. They're annoyed. I mean, you heard Joe Buck make the comments. I mean, I spoke to fans up in Boston who are big Red Sox fans. America doesn't want to see 7 Yankee reserves at the All-Star game. You know, Derek Jeter is not having an All-Star season. I know he's an All-Star player, but he's not having an All-Star season.
Who should play over Derek Jeter?
Well, how about Tejada?
Tejada's having a nice year. He's hit about 17 or 18 homers.
7 and 52 RBIs.
Right.
How does he not go?
Well, I mean, when we picked these players, Tejada did what last week?
Well, he had an 8 RBI game. I understand that.
Had an 8 RBI game after we made the decision on who we were going to take. Right?
He did. He had an 8 RBI game. But that's still more RBIs than Jeter. And more home runs.
And the fact that Jeter's hitting 40 or 50 points higher doesn't count.
Tejada's a better defensive player. Listen, Tejada's is a little erratic, too. He's erratic. I agree with that. But Jeter is a very erratic defensive shortstop.
Well, Jeter was second in the voting.
So was David Bell. Why didn't you take him?
I took Troy Glass. Does that upset you if I take Troy Glaus?
No, but you can't use a second in the voting, Joe, because there's other guys who are second in the voting who you didn't take.
Who else?
David Bell, perfect example.
Who else?
Well, I'd have to go look at who was the fourth. I'd have to go look at the fourth outfielder. I'm sure I'd come up with a first baseman who had more votes than Tony Clark.
Right.
I'm sure Tomey had more. How about Tomey?
Very
I'm
tough.
sure he was second at first base.
Very tough not to take Tomey. Very tough not to take Burks. Ellis Burks. Very tough not to take Fred McGriff. Very tough not to take Minkiewicz. But I haven't 30 players.
Joe, you took 7 Yankees. A third of your reserves are Yankees.
I didn't take a first baseman.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't take Tino. You just mentioned
He's got 60-something RBIs, Tino.
Yeah, but a lot of this is in the last week of the season, too.
Well,
the last
that's what happened to Tejada, though, the last week. He knocked in 8 runs in one game.
Who says you had to take a third shortstop? Take Guzman and then take Tomey.
Is there something wrong with? You like? At least you like Guzman. I'm glad
you took it. Yeah, you had to at least you took a twin. I mean, I know you took 3. You could have taken Matt Lawton. Here's a poor
but
franchise.
two of those twins, Chris, are ex-Yankees, so that makes 9.
No, I'm not. Forget that, Joe. I'm not knocking you for that. But I mean, you could have taken a 4th twin, but you can't go to the All-Star game taking 7 reserves on the New York Yankees. I mean, it's a disgrace, Joe. It's an embarrassment, and there's no way around it. And I've been saying this for 2 days. It's not fair, and Yankee fans agree for the most part.
Well, then, I'll hear it from all the Yankee fans. I'm sorry that you feel this way.
I really is upset. I mean, Andy Pettitte should not be on the All-Star team ahead of Tim Wakefield. I mean, gee whiz, he missed 3 weeks.
Wait a minute. You talk about looking at numbers. Have you looked at Andy Pettitte's numbers?
Yeah, he's got 8 wins and a 2.95 ERA. He missed 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, and he's got an earned run average under 3.
Right, was Wakefield's better than that, 2.62.
Right, and he did part of it in the bullpen. I say
But he was there.
Wakefield was definitely considered by me. There's no question. No question.
Joe, how do you not take a Red Sox to the All-Star game? Don't give me Ramirez. I voted for him. That's my vote. That's not your vote. How did you not vote for him? Not take a Red Sox. That's ridiculous.
I haven't got an answer for you. I took a lot of Red Sox when we played in Boston.
He took Offerman. And I got upset at you for taking Offerman. I didn't think he deserved it.
Right, and you didn't want me to take Offerman, and we played in Boston.
I mean, how come you didn't take more Mariners? I mean, this game's in Seattle.
Six Mariners are on the team.
But you only took 2. You took 7 Yankees and 2 Mariners. Joe, and they got a...
Wait a minute, let me finish. Sealy, and there was one, Cameron. Cameron's numbers are good.
Right.
Yeah, he's another one that could have qualified. No question.
Could have qualified?
Yeah.
But you didn't take 1, yet you took 7 Yankees.
I took 2.
Yeah, you just named 4 Mariners who you didn't take, and you took 7 Yankees.
Right.
I mean, Joe, come on. I mean, you have to understand that people are going to be very annoyed here. I mean, it's all we ever get is Yankee baseball.
I would like to believe that, that people will get over this.
Well, they will.
You may not, but the people
I will. I will. You know I will. I'm not
this is just baseball, Chris.
But Joe, you don't think it's a disgrace that you took 7 Yankees?
I think that's strong, Chris. Come on, disgrace.
An embarrassment. How's that?
A disgrace or embarrassment that I picked Andy Pettitte and
Derek Jeter and Mike
Derek
Stanton.
Jeter
yes, I do.
And Williams and Clemens.
I think again, individually, make a case for every single one of them. Sometime in this last 2-week process, Joe, you had to be sitting there in the middle of the night in your office and say, you know what, geez, I got 7 Yankees here. I got to think this through again. You obviously didn't do that.
Oh, well, don't criticize me for not thinking it through. I did that.
And it never dawned on you that you might get a lot of heat and it would be unfair to take 7 Yankees this team.
I understood that I was going to be criticized, Chris, and I still did it.
Well, why, Joe? They want to make sure the Yankees love you in the locker room. You're a great manager. They're going to love you. Well, what's the point?
I don't, I took the players because they're qualified, and I've always said that I'm loyal to my players. There's no question, and I'm not embarrassed. I don't have to apologize for picking my players. I mean, it's my job to do that. I mean, I'm given the responsibility to do that, and I did it. I didn't do it last year. I didn't do it the year before because I didn't think we had 7 players that were qualified. This year I did it because I felt that they were qualified.
Yeah, Joey, you can't possibly tell me that Mike Stanton has had a better year than Jeff Nelson.
Is Mike Stanton had a good year? Have you looked at the numbers in over 40 games?
Yeah, I sure have.
Yeah.
But he's not had as good a year as Jeff Nelson.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that with you.
But you took Stanton. Is it because you don't like Nelson for some reason?
No, you know better.
Well, Nelson thinks that. Nelson thinks that.
You know better than that.
I know you wouldn't do that, but Nelson thinks that.
Nelson thinks I don't like him.
Well, you know he thinks that.
It's hard for me to believe that because every time I see Nelly, we go out of our way to see each other, and I don't believe Jeff Nelson thinks I don't like him. And I'll tell you, it's a sin on me if I make a decision on liking or disliking somebody. You know that.
Well, did you take Stanton because you want to throw him a bone because he's a Yankee?
Throw him a bone? No, I thought he earned it. To me, he has pitched very well. He was our savior in the first half before we helped our bullpen. And he's been a dynamite guy. I mean, he's a media guy. He's a guy, if he has a bad outing, he sits in his locker. He doesn't hide from the media, and he's always there for them. To go along with pitching with a lot of courage. Did you watch him pitch in the World Series last year?
Joe, come on, you know the answer to that question.
Year? Yeah.
You know who's sitting there asking you questions about him striking out Delgado and all those Blue Jays in that 17-inning game?
Right, that was
you know I'm on top of the baseball. I ask you all those things.
No question you are.
But it's still not fair. I mean, you can't take 7. I mean, I understand you got to take a couple of Yankees, and you've been a great, and I know you're a Hall of Fame manager. I've been saying that forever. But this was totally out of line, and I was shocked. This is the first time. And now I know you think that I rip you and I don't ask you the tough question.
No. Now wait a minute.
That's not fair because I don't rip you, Joe.
Let me explain that I may not have made clear. I said I get calls during the course of the year. You know that the people that listen to your show, like most people do, and they'll call me.